Hello everyone, this is Paul from DLT Trading, and today I want to show you the Rick Hinderer 3.5-inch XM-18 in the Sheepsfoot variation, and also touch on the Gen 5 upgrade for 2018. So if you're not familiar with the 3.5-inch XM-18, specs are 3.5 on the blade, 4.75 closed, weighs in at 5.6 ounces. These particular knives are in 20 CV. Rick does, as far as the standard production stuff go, varies between 20 CV and S35 VN on the non-exclusives or specialty runs. Does have a pocket clip on the back, comes tip down out of the box, but you can swap that for tip up carry. There's also an upgrade out there, or an accessory I should say. If you want left-handed carry, it's comes with a new liner, G10, and a G10 scale that has pockets for pocket clip, tip up or tip down. For left-handed users. So the two here, I grabbed a black DLC variation and a stonewash just to show you the difference. So flip over to the back side. We'll go over the Gen 5 real quick. So all of these and the DLC variations are the standard Gen 4. The stonewash versions and the working finish are the Gen 5 with the lock bar insert. You can tell here because it just has the big screw in the back to hold the insert in. I'd asked Rick about this. He said the frames are already done, so in order to remill these with the pocket for the lock bar insert, it would have basically ruined all of the DLC finishes, because they would have to rejig these all up in the machines, and it would have just scratched the crap out of the DLC. So the Sheepsfoot are mixed between the two variations. Here at DLT we do have the Gen 5 version called out on all the knives that are Gen 5 if you're really looking for that lock bar insert. One other notable thing on specific to the Sheepsfoot blade, the screws here and the back spacers are Eklipse parts. Was not aware of that out of the gate, but I had talked to Rick. Basically, for the Sheepsfoot blade to nest inside of here, they had to make a couple changes because they were hitting the back spacers, the standard 3.5-inch back spacers, so they had to swap them out. There's deeper cuts here in the Eklipse, so it allows the blade to nest in there without hitting the back spacers. Just to point that out, because a lot of guys do upgrade these, so you'll want to look for Eklipse screws and back spacers. But overall, as far as the Gen 5, that's basically the only difference is the lock bar insert. Try to show it real quick here. Kind of hard to see, but that's the only difference is the lock bar insert. That will be on all the knives going forward, upgrading or coming out as the Gen 5. Rick said it's not that big of a deal for them to do that, so that will be the standard variation is the Gen 5. But overall, a lot of people really like the Sheepsfoot. It's not my favorite blade shape, but it is something different, something that has never been offered before in the XM-18. So people like variation, and so far it's really sold well. But if you are looking for the DLC, I wouldn't really. Rick's not used the lock bar insert for a long time, so if you're looking for the DLC version, I wouldn't not buy it just because it doesn't have the insert. Like I said, Rick's not used the insert for a long time now, and all of the knives function very well. We'll just go over it in hand if you're not familiar with the 3.5-inch XM-18. Full-size knife, nice 4-finger grip. It does have a nice texture here on the G10, so you can get some nice traction. A little bit of jimping here at the top, built into the G10, and a little bit onto the blade here. Not overly aggressive, but enough to get a little extra traction. They do have. I'm not a real fan of the choil on the 3.5-inch because it's not very deep, but some guys do really like it. I just find it a little bit tight, and my fingers might be a little fat, so I just get worried on snagging it there. But if you do want to choke up, it is a possibility. I would just say to be careful. But that's pretty much it for the new Sheepsfoot version of the XM-18. We look forward to new stuff coming out from Rick all the time. He always keeps customers and dealers on their toes for projects he has in the work, and him and his team down in Ohio have been nothing but wonderful to work with, and we look forward to continue doing business with them. Thanks for watching, everyone.